sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I just choked down chocolate chip cookies and Grandpa's femur. Femur.
We make money now?
No, we had to pay
So
them.
this episode, it's just too slippery. I'm slicing everything.
Every time I swing my 5-iron, it goes up that guy's ass.
Welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's your host, Jim and Foo.
That smelled like vodka.
It's tequila.
Well, whatever. I guess vodka doesn't have a smell, but you're right. It is tequila. That smelled
Did
like...
you read the fucking chat?
I did.
There is
I
a lot in there,
it.
and it does not taste it.
Mountain Dew.
I'm not lying. It is like when I make the painkillers for Venus.
Mm-hmm. Just keep adding.
There is something going on. I'm recording. Good. Let's. I'm like crossing wires. Fuck it. Yeah. Shit. Hey.
Wow, every time you try to reset. Hey.
Fuck. I tell you what. Welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast, episode 104.
Is it?
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
I made the tile.
I
made the thumbnail yesterday.
I guess I have to look. I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure.
This is a bad way to start a show.
No,
sure.
it's not. Fuck it.
It's not.
I'm the Lord Foo. He's Jim.
We're raring to go. Welcome to the show.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
anyway.
let's just call a spade.
It's 104. 104? 104.
I'm
4 to 4 to 4 to 4 to 104. 104, 104. Can I get a 4? 104.
Yeah, you're right.
Amen.
Amen, sister.
I spent like 2 hours in Photoshop. Fuck, if I was
I'm
wrong.
a 4 and 104.
I got a 4, 4, it's 103, 103. You're confused. You're confused, Dad. You confused, Dad? You got a 104, 104, 103. Episode 104. Sold to the
Exactly.
middle-aged dudes approaching 50.
Name of the show to be determined later.
Anyway,
So
but we were talking about the booze.
the booze. You exhaled a second ago, and it was like
tequila. Okay.
It was like you just dumped tequila out on the table.
So that's what's weird. So in making the painkillers that
Yeah.
that we had when, well, I don't know
what
if you
you're
had
talking
one.
about.
Did
No,
you have one?
I didn't have one, but I know what you're talking about.
That comes from Jungle Bird.
Yeah.
The bar.
The tiki bar.
Tiki bar down on the grid.
Yeah.
Amazing drink. But
Downtown.
it's like an international drink. It came from the islands. Pick an island. Barbados. I don't know what it was.
I'm surprised that you know this. Is that where it came from?
Yes. It's not like a local made drink. It's like a it's like a
Apparently
Caribbean.
it is because they make it down
Right.
there.
It's a Caribbean drink. Fuck, dude.
I think the alcohol's going to loosen up, buddy.
Here we go. Fucking, you're like cross-checking me into the fucking glass. All right, dude. I'm gonna get flap tangles.
I just figured like you had some sort of knowledge about this or something.
I don't remember it verbatim.
Or
Fuck.
were you Googling like this drink or something, or what?
Because when you pull up the recipe, it actually has like a history. It's not
okay.
like fucking Long Island or something where you're like, you just throw a bunch of shit into it. This drink comes, the painkiller comes from the Caribbean, and it has like a whole fucking history.
I just want to say, if you're in the Caribbean, I'm pretty sure you probably don't need a painkiller. So that's just an odd name for a drink that would have come from an island
It's probably
of
like
zero fucks, right?
It's probably a white thing,
Oh,
right?
maybe.
I come down here spending my gratuitous amount of tax dollars in this haven, and now I need to get away from all the kids I abused or something.
I have a headache from the mainland that I have to get rid of here.
Right.
Give me one of those drinks.
Give me one of those things. Make it for me. And so I can forget all of the crimes I've done. Right? Anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't
It's
know.
such a well-mixed drink
Yeah.
that if you do it right, it's one of those few drinks where you, I'm sure everyone has experienced this, where you're choking down like the taste of some form of alcohol to get to an inebriation point.
Happy point?
Well, yeah, whatever that is
Yeah.
for you. But there's always like this, if it's not mixed well, you're just getting past the pain to get to the funny haha part, right?
I just feel like if you have to, I mean, I guess.
It's not pleasant.
Yeah.
To me, that's beer, right?
No, because
For me, it is.
some people like beer.
But right, that's what I'm saying.
I like
so
beer.
I think it's subjective.
Yeah.
So, but this drink when we were at the tiki bar
Yeah.
was so well mixed. Was so well mixed
Have another one.
to me, or I'm fucking out.
We might have to pause
Right.
so you can refill your
It
glass.
was so well mixed that you didn't know. To me, you couldn't taste it.
Well, that's kind of the point.
I think it is in
Yeah.
a well mixed drink.
It should be like that.
That's my
I
opinion.
mean, unless you're drinking like a gin and tonic or a gin martini
right.
or
Well, even then, like
vodka on the
the
rocks.
Tom Collins drink that I think Dragon, when we were early on in the quarantine, and she dropped off some of Ryan Reynolds' aviation gin and like the mixers for all of that.
yeah.
If you mix even something as simple as that, I think two or three ingredients
Yeah.
mixed well, an amazing experience.
Well-
You're not like, breathing dragon fire shit.
I'm going to tell you
What?
that was how the whiskey went for me here in the garage.
Oh,
Because- Well, I mean, I wasn't
Or-
that I was being like super careful about how the drinks were mixed, but they tasted delicious
right,
and they didn't have like that harsh alcohol
right.
flavor.
I think that it just depends on the palate.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't drink. I could not honestly drink even some of the really good whiskey that I have without like, eek. Okay, there's a little bit of like Dragonfire kind of shit. on
Sure.
it. A well mixed cocktail, however, like the Painkiller,
Mm-hmm.
that is the exception. And before that would be like a Bloody Mary. And that's really what I had searched for probably in my like 20s and 30s was like that was my like quest.
I love Bloody Marys.
Like find me a Bloody Mary that I enjoy the taste of, and probably two of them later I'm fucking free kind of shit.
Well, I think what you have to do, because probably nobody knows what we're talking about, is
Well,
let's talk about what that drink is. That
Okay.
You,
So yeah, we're getting there.
you breathe tequila fire on me.
Right. So the thing that I think Will had posted,
Mm-hmm.
it was that Red Lobster
Yeah.
was now serving a Mountain Dew margarita.
A Dewgarita or something.
Dewgarita.
Dewgarita.
So the jokes ensued,
Right.
obviously, because it's fucking Mountain Dew and a margarita. Like, how much more white trash and cigarette butts do you need to get?
I think what you do is you make up a batch of the Dewgaritas and you just have cheesy biscuits. And then you're all set. Cheesy garlic biscuits.
Probably. And then someone has to fucking Uber you out because you would not know. Anyway, so the jokes, we joked about it like,
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
But
Like,
then
we're-
you went out and did some shopping.
Right, because Will was like, this needs to be a Sad Dads Club podcast thing. I'm like, well, obviously Jim can't partake, but I fucking live here. So
Right.
I could crawl my ass back into the door and I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as work ended, I went and got, I didn't get tequila because I had tequila, but I went and got Mountain Dew because I don't drink soda.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I found a couple of recipes that I thought were a little bit closer to.
Is there a specific recipe that you were trying to make, or did you have to make one?
I think it was a Buffalo Wild Wings picture,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I posted it in a Hangout, and it included some of the ingredients, but in reading it, before I left for the store, I just presumed that the recipe was included in the picture or the link that I had sent everybody in the Hangout. When I read it, it wasn't. It was just the things in the drink that the person thought,
But not the stuff.
but not the ratios.
How much? Yeah.
So I went to the store. I'm like, well, I have silver tequila and I have Midori, and those all sound like things that I would probably put in here. So I just went and got the gap filler. So I got Mountain Dew and a margarita mixer.
Okay.
So like a sweet and sour.
Yeah.
And I made it in kind of like a ratio is what I figured it would taste okay without, allow me variances to correct it in the cup. And first shot,
yeah,
put the straw in, take a swig, and there's no alcohol in there. I put a full fucking shot.
There is alcohol in there.
Oh, yeah,
that's
there
the whole
is.
point. It's masking it out.
I saw it. And I'm fully expecting Venus is just short of dry heaving as I'm making this thing. Like,
now, is she not a Mountain Dew drinker, or did she not drink Mountain Dew?
Neither of us are.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you the last time I actually consumed Mountain Dew. I just don't. Now, I had in the past, in my 20s, like when we were telling Piper this, when I was in Charlotte, the friend that I went to Charlotte to work at the bank with on contract, the joke that we told Piper was like, we had probably consumed daily, easily, between the two of us, a 12-pack. Like, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
At the time, it was because energy drinks weren't really a thing.
And Mountain
Dew had what we presumed was the highest caffeine per capita.
Was that post-Jolt?
Jolt existed.
Okay.
But it wasn't as available as just go to the store and buy it.
Everybody carries Mountain Dew.
Right, everybody carries it. Whereas, like, if we could find it and it was like joke, haha, we would get like the Jolt Mega or whatever that had like the ×2 caffeine.
Yeah.
But you could usually only find that out there in like the glass bottles. And so it was like this few and far between. Let's just buy fucking a 12-pack of Mountain Dew and we'll pound 6 and work until 4 in the morning. Yeah.
Well, for us, it was like being out skateboarding and then go to the AMPM and get a 32-ouncer of Mountain Dew and a bag of Doritos.
And then you're good to go.
Good to go.
So I mix this thing up and expecting white trash. This is going to taste horrible. Like when you do like a suicide at like the fountain drink thing.
Oh, yeah. That's
right. Terrible. It's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Venus is, like I said, she's dry heaving the whole time. And like I said in the hangout, I'll be honest, it was probably, you couldn't tell the tequila was there.
Mm-hmm.
B, it tasted really good. It tasted like a really good margarita.
You said you were sad about saying that it was the best tasting margarita ever had.
It was. It was like, fuck. Because we had made so many jokes about it. It's like, margarita, Mountain Dew.
Right.
Fuck. Try it.
Well,
because it was really good. And then I found I added an extra ounce, a whole ounce of tequila.
Yeah.
Just to like
make sure there's alcohol. Did I forget it?
Maybe I pulled off the throttle a little bit too much on the tequila ratio. And I didn't. Because when I added the extra ounce, it was like, I still can't taste the tequila. But I know there's 2.5 ounces of tequila in this glass. Shit.
Is that the glass?
This is the second one.
Oh, damn.
So
that explains some things right now.
5 ounces of tequila?
Oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, like a minute ago, and it hit me, and I went, oh, damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think you would pass a blood alcohol test.
Probably not.
A breath test.
Not legally.
No. Yeah.
And slammed it.
Yeah.
I'm not a tequila guy. Not even close. But that was good.
Okay, so if you're not a tequila guy, what guy are you? What guy are you?
Lately, it's been the gin, the Tom Collins, the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Like I had, they were nice enough to purchase us a whole bottle of aviation gin.
Yeah.
Which is also really good. I recommend you try it if you're not a gin fan.
Yeah.
Very simple drink, easy drink, mixed correctly.
It's really good.
You'll, especially with aviation gin, I'll be honest, not a sponsor, but hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. It's a really good gin,
mm-hmm.
and it's a really good drink. Really easy to make. Anybody can make it.
Now, I hear that he was up here at Topgolf promoting that gin.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed that? Recently?
This was a while ago.
Oh.
I want to say it was last year sometime or something.
It's a really good gin. I've consumed probably over months and months 2.5 bottles of it. It's a really good drink.
Yeah.
And it's a really good gin. It would be where I go to get gin to make that drink.
I like the Jim Beam. That's all I'm saying.
Up until this, painkillers, if we were going to make a cocktail, I would make a painkiller.
Now, are you making the painkiller off of the cup?
Yes.
Do you have the cup recipe? The recipe that's on the cup?
The rest, well, yes. In short, yes.
Yeah.
If you pull it up on the website, which is usually I'm referencing, because it would be awkward.
Oh, they actually list it on the website?
Yeah.
Oh.
It would be awkward to, look at. I mean, like I said, it's like a historical thing. It's like so the website and the cup are all
part of a thing.
Intertwined. It's like a marketing thing.
Okay.
Pretty smart, I guess.
They're like, you can make it at home, or you come down here and we'll do it for you.
Yeah, if you're running across someone that's like making a painkiller knockoff, that's one thing. But there's actual a
what would
specific
they call that?
recipe to call a painkiller a painkiller.
I mean, what would they call it if they were making a knockoff?
A Vicodin.
Yeah, but Vicodin doesn't fuck around. Aspirin?
What? You fucking have a couple of my painkillers. You ain't fucking around either. You'd be fucking the floor.
I'm keeping that in mind.
Yeah.
Note to self.
You want a couple? Plus, it smells really good because I'm not making.
I haven't had one, so I'm gonna have to try one sometime.
What did you have when we were there?
I don't remember. That was many drinks ago.
I thought you had one.
I don't know. I didn't get a painkiller. I got something else.
The peanut butter whiskey thing?
I don't remember.
I think we both had one of those. That was good too. It was peanut butter jelly.
I had something else. I had something. I think I got something different from everybody else.
I think I just tried the painkiller. I think Venus had one. All those drinks at Jungle Bird were really good.
Yeah,
I was really impressed.
Yeah.
We had like a punch one. I think I had a whiskey one. The girls,
there was like the big shareable one. Remember that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that had like 5 straws.
Yeah.
And we only had 3 people, and we still
killed it.
Pound the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Say
or press
good thing you were all Ubering or whatever.
Yeah.
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 I see. We couldn't. was driving, so.
Oh yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then hashtag my wife 5-fingered the actual cup that had the recipe on it.
Don't let that out.
Piper,
they know where you live.
Piper, your mother paid for it. It was a novelty cup. It was $29.95. She didn't steal it.
I'm not laughing because he's wrong.
Right. I'm telling the truth, and trust me, I'm your father.
Yeah, trust him.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a Trump conversation.
Right.
Like a conversation he's having with his kids.
I'm going to have the vaccine tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Trust me.
It's
all good.
Anyway, it was a really good I was pleasantly surprised. Something tells me that the next time we have a get-together,
those are going to come out.
Right. And the thing was, I used those, when did that happen with, all of the little mini cans?
I want to say in the last, year or two.
Is that to make Americans feel like they're not quite getting diabetes as fast as they actually are?
Maybe. I don't know.
I used half of one of those little tiny...
Half of a tiny one?
Tiny one.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. And I can only guess the rest of that was booze, but I don't fucking know because you didn't taste it. I didn't taste it.
Well, it's crazy to me that Mountain Dew masks the alcohol that much. Well, that and Midori and whatever else is in there.
Right.
The mix.
Lime. Lime mixer.
I mean, that sounds like it would
tequila.
mask anything.
And I left here, like I said, I was telling Venus, I'm like, well, I don't have a dark or reposado tequila. I just had the silver.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you're going to make a classic margarita, you're using a dark tequila.
Well, let's just cut that one out because you're making a Mountain Dew margarita, so
right.
It's not even.
So I'm like, you know what? If I go to the store and I actually buy a dark tequila, then I can't stand in the self-checkout line.
Right.
I have a whole bottle of this 1800 silver.
You don't need it. You don't need to.
I'm not.
No.
And this is fucking Mountain Dew. This is going to taste terrible.
Was anyone giving you the skunk eye? Like, what are you doing with all that Mountain Dew, dude?
No.
Serious?
No.
How old
but
are
I
you?
did walk up to the lady at the self-checkout with the mixer, and I'm like, is this going to get me in the no-no?
Uh-huh.
Because you can't self-checkout with booze.
Yeah.
It said non-alcoholic on it, but fucking
Yeah. You never know.
non-alcoholic, who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
it's like the AI is doing a subjective, like, this is the gateway to booze.
Did she say you were good to go?
Yeah, she did.
She said GTG, and you're like,
she was like, no, you're fine.
you're like FA.
I'm like, good. Well, you can't see my smirk because I'm wearing a mask.
That's right.
Anyway.
You know, it's funny because we had speaking of that, wearing the mask thing, we had a birthday party just recently for Raj. Shan's dad turned 80.
God damn.
I know. And it was like sitting around the cake and doing the normal birthday pictures, right? So he's sitting down with the cake in front of him and like the grandkids on either side kind of a thing.
And everyone looks like Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe.
And it's like, you're not smiling. You know, I just kept I don't see a single smile. Everyone's wearing their masks. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
What's the deal? Are you going to smile? This is Yampy's 30th or 80th birthday, and none of you are smiling. What's the deal?
You guys are all a bunch of sad pandas.
And after about 30 minutes of that, they all got tired of it.
Yeah, that joke probably runs.
No, I'm joking. I didn't do it for 30 minutes. But I'm
probably-
going to work on it here on the show. You guys ready? 30 minutes of that?
30 minutes
You're
of
not smiling.
You're not smiling?
Yeah.
But you're not wearing a mask, and neither am I.
Well,
But we're at
wearing
a safe social distance.
We're wearing mic covers in front of our faces. It's almost the same.
Right. I'm
They're like
speaking
N95 mic covers.
into an object.
Yeah.
Do it.
So did you do anything good this weekend? Because I don't think I did. Oh, you know what I did do this weekend? Speaking of Raj.
Kill that bitch.
Is they had to move. So we moved, and it was over there like 3 days. 2 days.
Yeah.
Helping them move. And, moving
And you
is
don't
just the best.
really have... Did you rent like a U-Haul or something?
Well, they actually did it the better way. So they moved all the little stuff in the cars and then hired movers to get all the big heavy stuff. So
what did
the
you
problem
do?
is everyone has a bad back.
Oh.
I have a bad back. Chandler has a bad back. Ryan has a bad back. Shannon has a bad back. Raj is fucking 80. You know what I mean?
You know who doesn't have a bad back?
Nobody.
Me.
Nobody needs to be fucking moving any goddamn furniture. So he did the cool thing and hired 4 dudes, and they just loaded the truck up with all the big stuff and moved it. So, and they're only moving like 3/4 of a mile away.
Oh,
it's very short. But
not big. But it took the weekend.
Yeah, I mean I think they started moving like Thursday or something, and then we were over there I think Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday, and then we didn't do anything on Sunday. So I got to actually do my stuff on Sunday, which is like mow and all the other BS I needed to do.
Yeah.
That was my weekend. Yeah.
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 I had my I have a couple things, but probably the funnier of the two. No, it's not funnier than two. Anyway, my dad stopped by on Sunday.
Okay.
And his thing was he had brought his computer. So the #HiBrett, #HiKim.
What did he have?
Their girls. Brett works up near my dad.
Okay.
So the girls have transferred to Clear Creek, the school that Brett and the elementary school that Brett, I, and my sister both went to, or all three of us went to when we were kids.
Yeah.
So because Brett works up there, they've transferred up there. So my dad plays guardian caretaker to the girls.
So he's on the list to be able to pick them up and stuff?
Right, but
that kind of stuff?
right now they're doing distance learning. So my dad, I think probably like a week and a half ago, had mentioned like needing help with Zoom and this and the other things, because the girls, when they come up there, they spend the school day, since Clear Creek has started distance learning. So he proctors them when they start their school day. And he had mentioned he's not a technical guy.
Right.
So
when stuff goes sideways, he brings it to you anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So the last time he had been down here, he had mentioned that he might need help with Zoom and setting Zoom up on his laptop, so that way if something were to happen, or he wanted to teleconference with us down here or do a family thing with the SoCal relatives, he could do that. So he stops by on Sunday, and he's got his laptop in his hand, and I think, oh, well, this is what we're doing. And that was not it.
Oh.
So he, in typical dad fashion, he walks in, and the dogs are going ape shit, and he sits down at the bar, and, you know, kind of like, well, hey, Dad, what's up? And he hands me an envelope, which is usually, if you've listened to prior episodes, it's usually something like a list of shit that he needs from Amazon.
Oh, my God.
That he doesn't want to order or doesn't know how the computer works, and he wants me to order it on his behalf.
Uh-huh.
So he hands me an envelope, and he doesn't say anything. So it's usually this whole, like, transaction is like a discovery process.
For you.
Of me.
Yeah.
It's like, is this a treasure or is this a trap?
Uh-huh.
And usually it's a trap. So he hands me this envelope, and I'm like, oh, what do we got here, Dad? And I open it up, and it's a fucking thing from his the service that he uses that schedules his umpiring for little leagues and the high schools around the area.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, my dad does, in his retirement, that's a mosquito carcass. That was creepy.
Did you kill one and then
I did.
it just happened to be stuck in your hand or something?
When I slapped it, that's where its carcass went. Anyway, so in my dad's retirement, what he's found as like a time occupier is he loves doing umpiring baseball for kids and high school kids. So little league and high school. Nationally, there is like a service that the districts all use to pay out umpires. It's called Arbiter Sports. My dad still doesn't know, accounts and passwords and things, so being able to save a password in a browser for my dad is like a godsend. So usually when anything comes to, so they pay into like this slush account, and your own bank account is tied to this service.
Uh-huh.
When he wants to cash out, he comes down here with his laptop and he, move the money kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
so he's counting on you to...
Right. And I do nothing that my dad couldn't do if he was actually just watching me do it.
Right.
But it's too fancy for him, and it's too high-tech, so he
doesn't know where to go and where to click.
Right. So he hands me this envelope, and it's from Arbiter Sports, basically disclosing that they had been hacked.
Oh.
And it was like a ransomware situation.
Oh, really?
So, first off, if you're some sort of fucking hacker taking advantage of people providing a service to little kids for umpiring because you want to fucking make a dime, I have nothing but the ninth circle of hell of hate for you.
I hate those people in general because what they do is just completely fucked up.
Am I? Ooh.
Oh.
Pissed.
Yeah.
I can't. So I'm reading this letter, and it's basically like they were hacked. They pulled the persons pulled the database down, but it was encrypted. It was not encrypted strong enough, or they left clues as to what the encryption keys were. Long story short, the hackers that got the database that was encrypted, they unencrypted it, and they basically ransomwared it to the Arbiter Sports people, and basically said, "Pay us," or typical ransomware, "Pay us or not," and then we'll disclose that we got it. And then, you have to deal with whatever the publicity is of that. So the Arbiter Sports paid the people, and the subsequent thing in the letter was that, hey, this is what happened. Your accounts were compromised. Please log in, change your passwords. Here's one free of like an identity theft service. And I couldn't tell you how pissed off I was because knowing my dad and the joy that he gets out of a service that he does to help kids learn baseball.
Yeah.
To be fit, to learn teamwork, camaraderie. He is not getting paid a six-figure salary. He is getting joy. His main payout is joy. And I guarantee you probably by and large, a large portion of the people that donate their time to umpire and take shit from parents who are douchebags about strike zones and all those things do not deserve to be held, to have their financial services be held in volatility for some asshat that wants to make a buck because it's low-hanging fruit. Now, does that absolve Arbiter Sports from having an easy or security hole-laden service? No. But I know a person who's partaking in the service who's getting paid to just umpire baseball.
Yeah.
And some asshats took that and now made my dad a victim and other umpires victims of no consequence of their own. It absolutely just pissed. So I spent the better part of Sunday, one, changing his password because it was all too advanced for him, which it wasn't, but that's okay. I love you, Dad.
It might be.
And then we set him up with the identity theft service that they were paying out for a year. Is that going to protect him? No, probably not. I mean, in the end, I think with any service, and a hacker is going to do what they're going to do, and we're all kind of just biding time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with advanced skills that wants to fuck you over is going to, because there's holes everywhere. I hate to tell you, but that's the reality of the thing.
That's how they get all these
and my
cities
dad,
and everything
my
else.
dad had basically, like, he's like, I don't understand, like, why would someone do this? And I said, because it's low-hanging fruit, Dad. I said, it is what it is.
I mean,
this has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with Arbiter Sports.
No, ideally, though, if you're Arbiter Sports, for instance, and you're doing the things that you should do, which is, in essence, you have a backup.
Right.
You can be like, here's my middle fucking finger, tear down all the encrypted bullshit and replace it.
Right.
And quickly change
and
passwords.
that's the way the letter actually worded.
Yeah.
It was that they were confident that they had closed the loop, wherever the security hole was.
Uh-huh.
They were confident they had actually closed it and encrypted it, and they didn't actually lose anything. The gotcha was that the intruders, the hackers,
Mm-hmm.
had basically said, we still have your shit, and while you may think, they didn't encrypt what Arbiter Sports had, essentially boning them from conducting business.
Oh, they still had this other data.
They had copies of the data, and they basically said, if you don't pay us, we'll release the data that we have, essentially shaming you, and then releasing all of your clients into the wild as far as what their data is.
I gotcha.
So it wasn't that, like in some of these cities, I think,
Where they encrypted on site.
right, where they encrypted on site, and essentially you bring the business or the municipality to its knees.
Mm-hmm.
This was
We're copying it over. We're encrypting what you have.
right.
And even though you've replaced it with a backup, we still have a copy of the shit that you have.
Right.
And if you don't pay us, then we're going to pass this around.
Right. And that's what
Fuck
it was.
those guys.
Fuck those guys. So there was no win out of it for Arbiter Sports,
Yeah.
which is terrible. And so, you could see like a little bit of like my dad just kind of like, I don't understand. Like, did I do something? Was this me? Like, is this
No.
I'm like, no, Dad, this is just low-hanging fruit.
Welcome to 2020.
And someone looking to make the easiest buck. This has nothing to do with someone with probably hate for umpires or someone that was wronged by the Little League or some shit.
Someone was crawling URLs and found a backdoor in.
Someone's got a script. They kick it off. Where are the loopholes? Who's got a database buffer overflow? Blip, 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 blip. Script runs positive. Run against this until I get the thing, pull down a database. It's all probably fucking automatic. It has nothing to do with you. And he was just kind of like, oh, so what's it mean? Like, well, your shit's out there, Dad. I don't know what to tell you. It's probably out there for the bulk of most people that use the internet and some sort of banking service. It's just whether or not it's been made public.
I think it's funny because here's a bunch of fucking assholes that are doing this, right? And they're saying, if you don't pay us, we're going to pass your shit around. even if you pay them, there's no guarantee those dumb motherfuckers aren't going to do that anyway.
And the letter even included, it was like, we had confidence that they had destroyed the thing. I'm
they
like,
don't
bullshit.
know that. They don't know how many copies of that are floating around.
Yeah.
If they sold it.
Are you kidding me? I mean, the amount of the amount of time it takes me to run a command, to copy a database into another database, and then like run another set of commands with the screen grab that shows you that I'm deleting a database. Fucking, you don't know what happened. The 5 command lines before. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
We have confidence they actually destroyed the data.
It's still
I've
out there.
moved that to 10 other fucking hard disks.
Yeah.
And a fucking USB backup drive.
Yeah. And servers around the world, probably.
And by the way, Romania has it.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
And we sold part of it anyway. So we're making money off of you and because we're selling your shit.
Yeah. We already pulled all the money we could out of the email list that you're now getting fucking dick pills for.
So what was the information that they had access to? Social security numbers and the whole 9? Or?
The whole 9.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
because the service itself actually ties your
bank account.
It's like a direct deposit thing for umpire services.
That's too bad.
It is.
Those are the people that should be drugged behind trucks by their thumbs.
I have nothing but hate for those people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just
yeah.
Because my dad doesn't do. It's not like he's gaming the system. It's not using some sort of financial tool with loopholes to get himself ahead. It's not like a day trading thing. It's not a min-max thing. He's
a good dude. Going about his daily life, like doing umpiring for kids' baseball.
Yeah.
And getting fucked over by somebody.
By somebody who just doesn't know or care.
Yeah.
It's just the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was so hot.
One
pissed.
of the most fascinating sets of videos I've been watching recently is a guy who's on YouTube, and he gets a hold of these guys that are doing usually they're some Indian outfit, but they're doing the calling and the Microsoft scamming, like
yes,
we're Microsoft tech support, and you get a blip on your computer screen that you have to call the number, and you call the number, and then all they're doing is like then they backdoor into your computer and all this shit. Well, he has a sandbox specifically set up for these guys,
right?
And while they're backdooring into he's tunneling into their systems. And he's finding stuff on their systems like driver's licenses and bills and photographs and like the local camera setup that they have in the office. And he's taking pictures of them. And then he's calling them back and asking them, why are you scamming me? Here's your address. I know what your actual name is. Your name's not blah, blah. It's this. And their fucking minds are blown. They don't understand how he knows all this, but the dude is smart as shit. And they just love that he's doing this, and he finds billing data. I want you to give back so-and-so's $1,300 that they paid you for scamming them, and I want you to give back and he's got their payment list history. And I just fucking love that shit. I watch as many of his videos as I can.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Hacking the hackers kind of thing. Is it the guy that wears like the aviator sunglasses?
Never shows himself.
Oh.
Never shows himself. Guy. He has like sort of like I want to say English accent of some kind.
There's a guy on Twitch that does the same sort of thing. And he wears like aviators.
Okay.
But he does it like he streams it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like almost hoping someone to call him so that he can do the whole skit where he fucks them while they're trying to.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because he even got one guy to like do an interview, and he recorded the interview of him talking to him on the phone, and he's like, tell me about how you do this and why do you say that, and what's this tool that you're using when you're telling them that their email has been compromised. What's this tool? Oh, it's just a thing that always pops up. No matter what email address you put in there, it always says something's compromised. Always. And so that's one of the tools they use to show a potential scammed person that their shit's compromised. And it's just fascinating to watch him. Like he knows what the fuck he's doing. He must be an IT professional somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's good at what he does. And he doesn't care what they fucking do on his sandbox because he can delete it. You know what I mean?
Just like VMware. It's
Yeah, exactly. It's just an image.
Yeah.
So he doesn't care. So he lets them do whatever they want to do, and then he starts digging. While they're doing that, he's getting their data, and I just think that's fascinating. And then he uses that against them. And then he'll call the cops. He's like, I already called the cops. So here's your address. They're on their way, kind of a thing. It's like, fuck yeah.
By the way, douchebag.
Yeah, the name of your actual company is this, and your name is blah blah. One of your coworkers' names goes by the name this, and his name is actually this. And here's pictures of you,
Yeah.
from your social media accounts and all. I mean, he does it all, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a soft spot for people that get hacked like that because they don't know better. They don't know, right?
Right.
They just think that something's wrong with their computer.
Right.
And they're just totally being taken advantage of.
For me, I'm lucky to have probably well, you got your label back.
Yeah.
It's upside down there.
I know I did it on purpose just to annoy my family.
I've told my dad enough scary stories that because he's run across those instances where he's somewhere where he shouldn't be, or a site that has been pre-compromised that like overplays like loads a compromised browser thing that you can't get out of.
Yeah.
I've told him enough stories that he knows. He just shuts the lid, and he comes down the hill, and he brings me the thing. He's like, they got me.
Something happened.
Now, sometimes where he's gone to get it,
oh, God,
that's subjective.
Because that page is still there.
Yeah, because you can't.
Let's check your browsing history,
Yeah,
Dad.
I don't need to. Yeah, come on, Dad. No, it really wasn't the bad guys.
Are you lonely, buddy?
Yeah, come on, Dad. No. But he knows to not fuck with it.
Yeah.
He doesn't like panic and go, fuck.
I'm calling the number.
Or I'm dialing, I'm clicking the install to do the debugging to get the thing off. Like, he doesn't click
all the
anything.
Things that he doesn't know what to do. In this case, that's a good thing. He knows what to do.
Right. He shuts the lid, and he'll do work from his phone for an entire fucking week and then bring down the laptop and be like, well, when did this happen? Monday. Dad, it's fucking Sunday. What have you been... What?
Oh, poor guy.
But, I guess it just shows you the generation gap between the reliance on technology. He'll do whatever he needs to do on his phone.
Yeah. Why are you on OnlyFans, Dad?
Yeah. What are you doing, dude? That's a fake site. Selena Gomez doesn't have an OnlyFans.
They're all deep fakes, buddy.
Yeah. It's fucking... Jerry Ryan doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Come on, Dad. Star Trek movies.
Oh.
It's not the thing.
Well, that sucks. I really despise the people who pull that on small businesses, municipalities, all that stuff. I mean, I know that probably a lot of the times those IT folks are, even if they're not the brightest bulbs sometimes, they're probably overwhelmed with budgetary constraints and everything else. And maybe they're not the smartest, but it's some of that's pretty tough. I mean, we know people in the IT security industry in general.
Yeah.
That's a tough business, man.
It is.
That's a really hard.
I had told my dad, at length, I said, that, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a difference between some of the municipalities and, higher tiered Fortune 500 companies that can afford an exhaustive security
audit
plan.
Oh yeah.
And don't implement it, and those that do and still get caught. I said, and then when you trickle down to some of these municipalities where you've got the lowest bidder handling your security, or you've got someone that interviewed really well and but doesn't really know all that much about security, or has been promoted into security and is doing their best, but is overmatched in what's actually out there.
Well, a lot of times too, it seems like there's situations where maybe they have a good plan, but they can't get into that plan
and there's
because
that too.
They're so busy doing XYZ ABCs that they don't have the time to get into that stuff.
And there's all kinds of like caveats to that kind of security and protection. You can't, and all of those things have detriments, and a lot of that comes at the usability. How accessible and how easy is this service to use for the city or the state or whatever it is that you're paying for, in order to make not only that you could use it, but that it's secure. And that Venn diagram, oftentimes, the easier you want something to be,
the worse it is.
Does not overlap with your security.
Well, and then you've got multiple parties playing together on the same field.
Right.
Multiple teams going on that aren't all on the same page. This product and that product and that product and that product.
Yeah.
And they're all blended together in some weird fucking mess that nobody could ever figure out anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you get these situations where it's like, well, you kind of just hope it doesn't happen to you while you're in command.
Yeah.
And if it does, you're hoping for receipts that you raised awareness, because in any other instance, you're just complicit.
You're probably out of a job.
Right.
Yeah, sadly.
And in cases where some of these places get ransomware, it's like, well, what is that? I hope they've done something in the end to fix those things, and it doesn't involve entirely killing your, or firing your staff, because that doesn't necessarily solve the problem. The problem is security's hard.
Yeah.
And if your security personnel are uneducated but also under budgeted and not encouraged to actually, or provided the resources to solve those problems, that you're going to be back in this spot again at some point.
Well, I know you work in IT. Okay. I worked for a hosting company that I was part of the IT group. I was desktop support, so I managed all the systems in the building. But I was part of the IT group, so I was around all the IT guys that managed all the servers. And talk about whack-a-mole. It's hardcore, man.
It is.
Just like it starts at the very bottom when the machine is put together.
Yes.
The very basics of configuring that system when it's brand new, before you even have an OS on it. All that stuff makes a difference. It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you mess up, then you're leaving something open for somebody.
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And not easy. It's not easy at all.
And whack-a-mole is probably the easiest.
And they're always ahead. So a lot of times the IT groups are trying to keep up with what the hackers are doing, because they're always a few steps ahead. And the IT groups are trying to follow behind.
And there's some, to use a parlance that's probably not fair but yet appropriate, is like in the IT world relative to security, there is a lot of don't ask, don't tell. Because the unsaid truth is that as secure as you think you are, you're not.
You're never as secure as you.
And chances are you're already compromised. It's just that someone smarter than you is still hiding it from you, and you haven't discovered it yet. There's always someone a little bit smarter, but yet that doesn't play well to consumerism, right? You don't always want to be fearful that your financial services are compromised, or your municipalities are compromised. But probably the brutal, honest, pull the Band-Aid off truth is they are. At some point, they are or will be.
Well,
and
I think a brilliant example of systems that you would think are completely infallible would be the Iranian example, where they had a completely off the grid computer system that ran their centrifuges.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not connected to any outside network whatsoever, and someone brought a thumb drive in that carried a worm
Yeah.
that made it into their system and fucked with their shit. That kind of stuff that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's not even on a network where someone could tunnel in or backdoor or here's a overfill or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a closed network.
Totally closed network, and
You got
someone
a USB,
someone brought a thumb
Game
drive
over.
in and it was infected and infected their entire network, which I mean, you start thinking about that, it's like no network is really safe. It's only as safe as the people that are using it.
Right.
And I mean,
and it gets hard
that's amazing
as
to me.
we struggle with all these other things that, to be fair, probably have more priority, take cycles away from us. It's like, how do you teach security awareness when there are probably so many other things? It's got, you struggle to fight for time in people's faces. Like, these are priorities, and I understand these are priorities.
But the thing is like
education becomes hard.
The higher ups are going, but everything works right now. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Why are we spending money on this when everything works already and we haven't been hacked right now?
Right, we just put a firewall in there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No.
Don't we have firewalls? We have firewalls, right? Well, what do you mean we could be hacked? We have all this hardware in place.
I want to be able to read my email at home. Do we have something to do that? Well, just whatever you do at the firewall, just open a port thing.
Yeah.
And some fucking dude in Ukraine is like slow jerking. Like, ooh, you want to open ports?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I got a SSH forwarder right for that one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's tough. That's a tough business to be in. I want to spend some time picking Dragon's brain about that, actually. It totally eludes my.
She's got stories, but she wouldn't be able to tell them here on the mic.
No, not on the
yeah,
mic.
she's got stories.
No,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I want to pick her brain when I see her next time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like talking about work necessarily, like offline.
They're like
maybe
cool
she doesn't
stories.
either, but that's what I do. I want to hear about some of that stuff.
Yeah, there are things that I can't on here as well.
Absolutely.
But they're good. I mean, I think her and I will. You get us into like security war stories stuff, and she's been at more companies, not in like peeking behind the curtains.
Right.
So I think she's got more variants on war stories, whereas mine are things that I've run across at the same place. So mine are all generally pretty of the same vein.
Yeah.
But hers, #HiDragon.
You wouldn't believe it,
right.
so-and-so.
But when she starts rolling off and I start rolling off, it's like enterprise security carnage because, it's like looking into the eyes of a mirror. It's like, I know, well, that's a huge ass mob.
That was.
She knows exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what she's talking about. She's just seen it in more places than I have.
Well, you don't deal with as much security, those stuff is. I mean, that's what her main function is, right? You don't deal with that necessarily on a day-to-day, I wouldn't think.
Not in probably the last 5 years, but the good front end of my time at where I was at.
That place.
Was. Yeah. Because we were much more like a holistic at the time. Our jobs, we did everything.
Yeah.
Firewalls and networking.
I gotcha.
And
So as you've been there longer, you kind of
whittled
become
away.
specialized.
And so, but the early years were probably the most egregious amount of stupidity and like holes existed. I was in that place.
Well, you've been there long enough. I would imagine back then those holes probably nowadays would be gaping holes.
Right.
And
but back
then people weren't doing
what's
it
a
as
Mozilla?
much. Yeah. There weren't as hacking wasn't as sophisticated then when you first started.
Right.
As it is now. Now it's like kind of nuts what people will go through.
Yeah, they'll push all kinds of shit through. But that's why I said, so her stories are sort of my stories, but they've got like a current twist on them.
Okay.
It's like, well, I know. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's always interesting to hear
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
thought this is something I thought about many times. It's like,
Yeah.
and then when I'm around her, it's like I forget. So
Yeah.
it's like then I go, oh damn, I
Because
forgot
we're
to-"
hammered and you've had half a bottle of fucking whiskey or
Or-
3/4, whatever.
whatever it was.
7/8.
I don't even remember.
Oh, wow. 2.
When we get home and look at the bottle and go, damn, this was brand new. What the hell happened?
I thought we brought rum.
Who drank all this?
This is whiskey. That's weird.
Oh
What
damn.
just happened?
No, but yeah, that's fascinating stuff to me.
Yeah.
I don't
So the other one
Okay. Yeah, moving on.
was so being in the office a lot. I didn't have weekend work, but generally everything that I do and for the kids runs across being in the office. So I'm reading news in the morning.
Hashtag 20 feet away.
Yeah. And I catch Chris Evans is trending. Did you see? Oh boy.
Over the weekend?
Yeah, over the weekend. So Chris Evans starts trending.
Okay.
It might have started Friday. I can't remember when it started. But the bottom line is Chris Evans is trending. If you don't know who Chris Evans is, Chris Evans, I'm talking about the Chris Evans who's Captain America.
Oh, I know who this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain America, Chris Evans. So, me being a comic book and heavy Marvel fan, I'm a Chris Evans fan.
Yeah.
The entire household's a Chris Evans fan.
Right.
If you haven't seen Knives Out, really good movie.
No.
Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, and the Bond guy, Daniel Craig. It's like a mystery murder solving thing. It was a really good movie. A little bit funny. Anyway, he's in that. He's really good in that. I'm a fan.
Yes. I like him as an actor. Yeah.
Yes. He's a good guy inside and out of. He's like one of those wholesome actors that like seems to conduct himself in a manner that you would hope someone who's got the fame would, even when they get money.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
He seems to be a wholesome fella. So I click on what he would be trending for, and it's dog pics, dick pics. Dick pics? What?
Okay.
What's this? So he's apparently doing a live streaming thing where he is doing something on his phone, where he's live streaming something off of his phone.
Uh-huh.
And he thumbs over, swipes over, and it pulls up his camera roll for a brief instance.
Uh-huh.
And of the tiles
and he was like,
on his camera roll, right. Of the tiles on his camera roll, in the bottom right-hand corner is a dick pic.
Okay.
Of like a looking down at like his left thigh.
Weighing out.
Wang semied out. But at the time, it was all I'm seeing is like him and his dick pic trending. I'm like, there's no way that Chris Evans,
right,
Captain America,
I mean, that had to have been a recent photo.
It was.
Too. That's what's nuts about
I have
that.
no idea.
It had to have, if it showed up in that screen.
I'm looking at threads like, is this real or is this like a hoax thing? Was he hacked? Did he do this on purpose? Like, is it a like Kim Kardashian thing, or is this like a he was hacked?
So
thing?
you actually saw the video? Was it taken down?
I didn't see the video.
Oh, okay.
But in the process of reading the various posts and threads to try and find out if it was a real or hoax, I ended up finding someone that had actually screen grabbed it.
Oh, God.
And so that's really what was making the rounds. It was the people that were watching the live stream saw it, but then someone, after he had pulled down the live stream and deleted the Instagram post, someone had already screen grabbed it. So what was making the internet rounds was the screen grab of the camera roll. So as I'm looking through, like, well, what was it? Like, was it a full pic? What am I looking for here? Someone had the screen grab in one thread that I was in. And I went, wow. And my first instinct was, I need to save this because I am sure my wife is going to come and ask me if I've seen Chris Evans' dick or where the picture is.
Uh-huh.
So I screen grabbed the screen grab.
Yeah.
And I had put it off on the side, but I had hid it under a couple windows because I didn't actually save it to the computer because I was like, I don't want to be in the same kind of scenario where the kids come in here and I've got a picture of fucking Captain America's cock on my computer screen. But I knew that my wife at some point would probably come into the office and ask me where to find it.
Did you see it? I want to see it.
Right.
Where is it?
So I think this was Saturday, and I'm in and out of the office, but I had not managed to ask Venus if she had seen the news.
Okay.
So it passes by. I think Sunday I got an update, or I needed to reboot the computer, and it didn't dawn on me that because I hadn't saved it, I'd lost the screen grab.
Okay.
Monday, and I had forgotten about it.
Okay.
Monday, Venus, my wife, I love my wife, hashtag hi Venus.
Oh boy.
Walks into the office.
Uh-huh.
And she's got her phone in her hand. She's like, and I'm not throwing any sister-in-law under the bus, but she's like, I was talking with person X.
Okay.
And she goes, so did you see the picture? And I went, yeah. She's like, I need you to find that for me.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And I went, oh, I see. Aha.
Uh-huh.
And so in thinking, but forgetting that I had rebooted, I'm looking for this window that has the screen grab of the thing, of his cock, Captain America's wang, and I can't find it. And so then she's standing there, and I'm kind of like fumbling around, looking for a picture of Chris Evans' dick. My wife.
It's on my desktop somewhere.
It's on my desktop. It's in a snippet.
I know I put it somewhere savory.
God damn. What? I saved it. And I'm like, well, I don't know where it is. I thought I had it. But anyway, it's a picture of his. It's not a full picture. It's just a picture of his camera roll. And and that's what I describe it to her. She's like, oh, okay. So then she walks out of the office and she just kind of goes about her way. And I'm like, well, she asked me. So now
I have to find it.
Now I have to find it. So here I am, heterosexual man, comfortable in my sexuality.
What are you searching for?
45 plus years of age. And I'm Googling Chris Evans dick pics. In an incognito Chrome window.
Oh, my God.
I'm fully prepared for all the algorithms that now are probably out the trash, even if it's an incognito window. But it had hit me. And, the kids are home, and I'm like, fucking someone is going to come in here and see me Googling Chris Evans dick pics.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
And then I saved it again.
Yeah.
And then when she was doing something in the laundry room. It was part of her paint renovation project. She comes down the hallway and she's doing something in the washing machine, and I go, the asset you asked me to attain for you, I found it. And she's like, oh, and she proceeds to Cardi B her way into the office.
Was she strutting?
That's a wet ass pussy joke. Anyway, so she slides into the office and she's like, and I said, so here it is. And
was she like zooming?
Well, I didn't fucking zoom in. Hey, I'll do all the searching.
Zoom.
There's no zooming in.
Zoom.
And she goes, oh. Oh. Anyway.
Now, does that mean she was not disappointed, or she was disappointed?
She was entertained.
Later on, did she yell out Chris Evans' dick?
Yeah.
Or anything like that?
Yeah.
No.
She didn't ask me to save it or send it to her so she could send it to my unnamed #HiKim sister-in-law.
We're not throwing anybody under the bus.
Not throwing anybody under the bus. But anyway, and I presume because I haven't distributed it to any of my other family members that my other family members who were looking for it found it.
Or that they even care.
Or that they, yeah.
It's funny because you were talking about it, and I thought, oh no, I don't remember that. And then when I looked up who it was, I went, oh yeah, I do remember seeing that, and I didn't even give a shit. It was like, I don't.
Right.
I'm not gonna start Googling his
Right.
Wang pictures.
Well, if your wife wants it,
I would tell her to find it herself.
I have it. Just remember to use
my wife doesn't. She doesn't.
Incognito window.
She
Anyway,
doesn't give a
so
rip.
it was quite funny to find myself in the position. I've saved it now, so that way I don't have to ruin my Google algorithms again. But I'm like, whatever. I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm pilot. I'm
Now,
fine.
after the show, I have to ask Venus her opinion of the Wang picture.
Chris Evans' dick pics.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Probably in speaking outside of that topic, it was interesting to see because a number of people as far as social media, made points about how different the approach was to a man having nudes leaked versus a woman.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, in watching the trends and being part of that initial timeline, like trending of various threads, I think, I know a number of females that have had their nudes leaked or hacked that I think are of good character as well, that didn't have the protection that the fan base went into that did for Chris Evans. I think Jennifer Lawrence is a genuinely nice person, and her stuff was leaked, and she, by and large, was essentially slut shamed.
Right.
Why would you do that? Taking pictures of that's stupid. Obviously, that's not safe. You get what you get. Chris had his entire fan base don't worry, we got this, and started posting pictures of him and his dog, and him doing cute things, and posting his voting initiatives or
Really?
his political things. Essentially,
So basically, just drowning it out.
trying to drown out the dick pic itself. By and large, I think it worked. Most people, and then what people were also doing was taking the screen grab that had the dick in it and changing that tile to something else.
Oh, weird.
So the
And then reposting
zeitgeist
it.
was essentially being corrupted. It was a lot harder for me to search intentionally for Chris Evans dick pics than it was at the onset to accidentally get it into my stream from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I think by and large that was due to his fan base trying to protect him. I don't think I've ever seen that for a woman. And there were a number of women activists that were pointing out I'm sorry this happened, and he's a genuinely nice guy, and no one deserves this, but if this was a woman, ...
Well, the sad part of it is he did it to himself.
Right.
Yeah.
This wasn't a hack.
Yeah.
He
Well, it wasn't a hack. He didn't send them to somebody that leaked them.
He was live, and he's got
Yeah.
these on his phone. This is his boo-boo, and he swipes left or swipes right on his
Yeah.
phone, and the interface, and it pulled up his camera roll, and dick pic.
Also, probably would have been a lot worse had it not been a little thumbnail.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it was, it's another lesson, man. If you take a picture and you send it to someone, for fuck's sake, if you're on iOS, remove that from your camera roll before you do a live streaming event. Please just delete it.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Oops.
Please. God. Anyway, so it was quite funny. It was a good... and he made light of it. I think the bulk of the Marvel stars I saw, like Mark Ruffalo, Venus said, had hey, at least you're... it's embarrassing, but not as embarrassing as XYZ. I think Monday, he then kind of came out of isolation, and he made a joke about it. He said, now that I have your attention, vote.
Oh, that's funny.
So he, turned a positive out of a negative.
I'm just guessing, and it doesn't. I don't give a shit if like a female actress's stuff gets out. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
But I don't think a female actress would ever probably benefit from that unless they just sort of had some ravenous fan base, which is sad to say. It's a double standard for sure, and that sucks.
It would seem so
Yeah.
because like the one I specifically remember is Jennifer Lawrence. I don't think I remember. I think I remember the general conversation kind of swirling around the hack itself and where can I get the pictures, and it'll probably
Well, that's what sucks about that is it was based on a hack. It wasn't like.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
so,
like she was keeping those private. Someone else did that.
Right. And then, to get it flogged over the head with it without the backup of the fans, who I think, by and large, she has a really supportive fan base. But it was, I think when you see a woman's pics leaked, it's like FAP material. But when he had his stuff leaked, it was probably FAP material, but yet you had a like a gauntlet line ready to bury it.
Yeah.
To protect him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's sad that a female actress, and well, we haven't seen it, but it's sad that you have a female actress that wouldn't have the same support level.
Right. Yeah.
That's
I have nothing to call on to say that that's not true.
Yeah.
It seems to be counter to the male experience.
I mean, it's the Super Bowl nip slip all over again.
Right. It's, I don't know. Just don't take pictures of your...
If you don't want them out there, don't take them.
Right. Yeah. What are you going to do?
I mean, you could work with a photographer that could leak
now everyone knows how big Captain America's dick is.
Wang.
Right.
But speaking of wangs, the dog, when he rolls over on his back, his little wangs out. Now I always go, Wang! I don't know.
Does it scare him?
No. But
is he getting better with the startle? We're at time though.
He's yes and no. He does. Like, I want to say it was last night, I fed him and I was taking the lid for the can and snapping it back onto the can. And he was down eating, so he just came over, started eating, and I just like put the thing on the lid and just kind of snapped it down, just a little, and it's like he goes up and then goes into the bedroom. So just I'm all done. That's it. What the fuck was that sound? I don't know. I'm out. And then he'll come back later and finish his food when he feels more comfortable. But
yeah,
we had a really rough walk yesterday. I took him for a walk.
Yeah.
And he does a thing where it's like, come on, buddy, let's, pee and go. You say that, and he actually will pee and move on.
Right.
Well, we got down the street and rounded the corner. I let him choose the path he wanted to go, so he was comfortable. We get partway down. He could hear somebody talking, like, over the fence. He just wouldn't move. We stood there for 10 minutes. And I'm just like, bro, we need to go. And he's just like, and when he's protesting, he'll sit down, like, I'm not moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, buddy, I'm here with you. I got you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing's going to happen to you. And he'll just look at you like, nope. I called Shanna very frustrated because we're literally going nowhere.
Right.
It was very weird. And I think part of it is we've been walking him a lot, but the smoke has been so bad that we haven't been comfortable like taking him out for a good walk.
Right.
So it's like he hadn't walked for a couple of days, and it was like he sort of regressed a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if there's that, but there's, still some sounds, man. He hears them, and he's out. I'm out. He's afraid of Chandler. This morning he jumped up on his bed. So I mean, sometimes he just surprises me. But there's little things that bug him, and some things that he seems like he gets over. So I don't know. It's weird. But he's a good dog.
Chandler hang out with another dog, perhaps, like a scent thing?
No. What happened was when we got Max, was right around the same time that Chandler had been let go from his job, and the same day, within like 5 minutes, while he was on the phone call getting let go from his job, he got an email from the school saying that they had dropped him from all of his classes. And he flipped his wig and fucking had a tantrum. But that scared Max, and it was like one of the first day or two that he was at the house. So after that, it took him a long time for Max to sort of like get comfortable. He's still not completely comfortable, but he's coming around. But then Chandler also hasn't done a lot to like try and like bond with him either. So I was surprised to hear that he jumped up on the bed today in Chandler's room. He doesn't even normally go back there. So it's progress, sort of forward and backward sometimes. But yeah, he's been a good dog so far. Can't complain.
We're good.
All right. We'll leave that on that note then.
On that note, good dogs and Captain America's Wang.
Wang. So every time, that's my whole point,
Wang.
is every time he lays on his back and his wang's out, I just yell, Wang, Wang, because I think it's funny.
Wang.
Wang. All right. Well,
hey,
thanks for wanging.
Yeah, if you're looking for an adventure,
Wang.
Mountain Dew Margarita.
Oh, yeah. Pour that on
Maybe
your
I'll
wang.
tweet the recipe that I made.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
All right.
I can't take a picture because I drank it all.
No, it's just ice.
Yeah.
Melted ice.
It's nothing.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week, and enjoy your weekend.
Hope you are not consumed with smoke.
And wear your mask.
Wash your hands.
Return the cart.
Wash your ass.
And vote.
And register to vote.
Yeah.
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 We'll catch you next week.
Take it easy.